The Growth Diary, a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and transformation. A podcast for you, a podcast for all.
Welcome. This is Ivan Mweemba. Welcome to another episode of The Growth Diary, and Happy New Year to you. You know, the past days and weeks, people have been on to me to say, no, you keep having male guests. When are you going to have a female guest? Well, say no more, because today's guest is a woman of valor, an inspiration, a woman changing, just know the narrative. No, we have communities where we believe everything about men, but these are women who've taken up upon themselves to say, no, we are going to change the narrative. I am the voice, but she's the one that talks. So with me today is Temi Talks. Yeah, I'm sure you know her. Those who are on the media, you know, the woman I'm with, she's a lot. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Oh, thank you very much. Welcome to the Growth Diary.
I'm really humbled, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Right now I'm shivering. No, hosting someone who's the hostess. You know, like, yo, I would ask a question and inside should be like, no, this guy is wrong. That's not how we do it. But hopefully you just know, understand to say this guy is just, you know, giving out his passion. You know, we've not been to school for this, but you know, just the passion is what keeps us going.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually.
Yeah, I think let's start with that. Temi Talks.
Okay.
Temi Talks. Why Temi? No, how did you decide the brand and just decided, okay, Temi Talks?
So it's like you're asking me the birth of Temi Talks.
Exactly.
Okay, so Temi Talks as a brand was actually born in 2020. I would say 2021, because that's when I actually started with everything. So how it all started was I love to encourage people. I love to talk to people. I love to share knowledge with people. So people tell me to say I'm that wise woman, but I don't want to be wise alone. So I love to share with people. So I found myself that the more I talked to people, the more I shared with people, I developed this interest of wanting to talk to more. I'm like, so if I can talk to these 3 friends of mine, and they're able to change, they're able to pick something. Yeah. What more if I talk to the whole world? Yeah. How many lives am I going to encourage? How many lives am I going to lift up and just to, to impact with wisdom, to impact with knowledge, like that. So I decided to say I will start doing maybe a certain show, but it wasn't really going. I didn't see it as in it would be this big or something. Yeah. I actually never saw it as in I'll sit on the camera and everything. Yeah. So my aim was like I'll just maybe be going live on Facebook, because that's how I even started. So I would go live on Facebook. I would pick on a certain topic. I remember the first topic that I did, I was actually talking about purpose, discovering your purpose in life as a person. Yeah, that was the inspiration was gotten from the book of Jeremiah 1 verse 1. Yeah, so that's how I started with that. And then the response that I got on that first live video that I did was overwhelming and awesome. So people encouraged me to do more of that. And then I continued. I would go live, though I wasn't consistent with the time. So, you know what, people now begin to come in and say, what if you just pick on a certain time while you go live? And then also the way I would put the camera, somebody would just come in and tell you to say, I think you should be holding your camera like this, and that. So, yeah, then there's... now this person who was more into that is actually my manager right now. Those days he would just tell me how to do it, how to go about it and everything. And then when he saw to say, okay, I'm busy telling this girl, do this, do that, but sometimes it can be difficult until you just come in and show them how to do it. Yeah. So that's how actually Mr. Philip Msoni, my current manager, came in and started mentoring me on how to compose myself, how to do it. And then he started supporting me with the equipment, the materials, everything that I needed to make sure longer. That even as I am talking, it's not always about what you are telling people about the words and everything, but it's also about the quality, the environment of where you are saying those words. It also actually matters, and then the sound of your words and everything. So with that, he came in and supported me, and then bit by bit, Temi Talks actually started growing. So how the name Temi Talks came about is, as I'm Temwani, okay? So I love to talk, as I said earlier. So I'm like, so instead of just saying Temwani Talks, why don't I just put the short form of my name and just say Temi Talks? So
it makes a great brand name, Temi.
Thank you so much.
Really, I love how everything is just well designed. I think your logo is my favorite. I love it. How you brought it, how you just present yourself. It's so inspiring.
That I think the credit should go to my manager. I wouldn't want to say I'm taking all the credit. So when it comes to technical, when it comes to the rest, everything, the sound, the video and everything, the credit should go to my manager. Mine is to sit, come up with something, invite guests and everything. So as you know, one can never be good in everything. There's always somebody who's supporting you. There are always people that will not maybe be physically be there for you, but emotionally or just be there praying for you. So I think for that, the credit goes to Mr. Msoni.
Mr. Manager, you're doing great because you're really building a bigger empire and a bigger brand. When I see, every time I watch you, I watch your episode, I'm telling you, in a year or two, you'll be big. Bigger than you are right now. We are coming to a club. They say greatness complements greatness, and you're really great.
I really appreciate it.
So Temi Talks, like when you check yourself, what would the 7-year-old you say when she looks at you right now? What would she say to you?
This question that you've just asked me, I remember I think a month ago, my best friend told me to say, my girl, you've actually grown. You see this woman that you've actually become. And I remember if the Temwani, the grade 3 Temwani right now was to see how big you've become, how great you've become, and to that 7-year-old me, I would actually cry with tears of joy, and then I know how much I've really struggled for me to get here, how much I've gotten to sacrifice for me to be here. It's not always about everything goes smoothly just because you've got everything. So there are always hiccups here and there. So this woman that I've actually become, the 7-year-old Temwani, is actually proud of. How can I say it? It's when I look at myself and I look at where I come from, where I came from, and then I'm here, I'm like, how did I manage to get here? It can only be God. So this woman has actually achieved a lot of things. This woman has overcome a lot of obstacles, has gone through potholes, have gotten to climb mountains for her to be here. So that little girl is proud of this woman, and she's so inspiring to her also. So to that other 7-year-old that would actually look at this woman sitting here, I hope she gets inspired also and just gets to do something that she loves, because passion is what has gotten this woman here.
We believe every greatness is as a result of experiences, as you said, and the exposures. So what are some of your childhood memories, or your childhood experience that would say, I think this is what really helped me to be shaped to become the person you are now? Maybe let's stop with the negative. Okay. You start with the negative. Any negative experience that has just helped you to become a great woman you are today?
Okay, so I grew up in a life where not everything was provided for me at a silver on a silver platter. So having to understand that I come from a family where not everything is provided for me at a silver platter. I got to understand to say there are actually different kinds of people. When we're born in different circumstances. So there are people that are born with everything at the tips of their fingers, and then there are people that actually need to hustle for them to be able to have everything on the tips of their fingers. So that experience of me trying to understand where in which category I belonged to was a really tough experience, but I got to understand that at a really tender age, because I'm still young and I'm here, because I got to understand that at a tender age, to say I'm one of those people that needs to hustle. I'm one of those people that needs to step out for them to have everything they need at the tips of their fingers. I always told myself to say I'm allergic to free things. So I don't love the thing where somebody is just giving, I get to ask for something from this person, because it really pains me sometimes to even ask for things from my parents. Like, Mom, I need money for transport, I need money for this. Unless I'm in need, that's when I get to ask for that. But because I'm able to, I've got my 2 hands, I've got my 2 legs. If that person who's disabled, they don't even have hands, they can plait hair, they can hustle, they can do it, and then just make ends meet for them. Why can't I do that? So growing up with that is actually what has shaped me into this woman that I've become. I call myself an independent person because I'm allergic to free things. So I don't want somebody to own me because they give me things, they give me free things. So I don't want that. I want to do things. I want to be able to provide for myself. I want to be able to get for myself. But I got to ask myself this question. So if I want to be able to provide for myself, what do I need to do? What has God given me? And then now I look at, after that question, now I look at, what has God given me? What do I have at my exposure that I can use for me to be able to provide for myself, or for me to do the things that I actually want to do? So it really used to pain me where you get to ask, but somebody doesn't have, so that they are not able to give you that. So just had to get into the hustle. And then as I do that, so I decided to choose this, because yes, this is my passion, this is my way of speaking out, this is my way of telling other women to say you can actually also do it. So it's just like raising awareness to say there's something that God has given you at the tips of your fingers that you can actually use regardless of the circumstance that you were born in. Circumstance should not actually determine your future just because maybe you were born in a poor family where things are not that really okay, so you have to indulge in other things. We hear a lot of stories where women tell us to say, or ladies tell us to say, me, I indulged into prostitution because they never gave me the things I needed at home, or I engaged myself into drugs and everything because of the pressure. And so I thank God because He gave me this platform to say circumstance should not really pin you. And it's also, as I hustle, as I grow, as I become bigger, and as I become great, I'm also leaving footprints for those other people to see, to say, actually, I can also become great. So it's not about, I say it out. I wasn't born in a rich family where everything is just there on the table. No, that's not how it is. I would actually say maybe I come from a middle class family. I come from a middle class family, but I'm doing everything I can for me to change that narrative.
So when is the book coming out? Because I feel like reading it. When you're talking, it's like I'm reading a book. I'm like, this woman, I think that's one of the things she has to do. When is it coming out? You need to put something in writing,
I'll definitely put something into writing, but there's just that. I know the Bible says, do not wait for perfect. If you wait for perfect weather, you will never plant your assist. But there's just that period I'm waiting for. That stage I had actually said to say, when I reach at that stage with everything that I'm doing, then I'll probably consider writing.
You probably consider, but you've thought of it, huh?
Yeah, I've actually thought of it. In fact, before I even started this, I was more into writing. Growing up, my childhood, I was more into writing. I would write. I would do write stories, write what. But I couldn't just really picture it out to say, in which category did I belong to? Is it writing for movies? Is it writing stories for... that thing. But when I got to discover the passion of wanting to sit on the camera, just talk everything that I was writing, it didn't die out. It's just on pause. But I'll really consider doing that. at the right time
Writing
comes.
is very important because the growth diary was as a result of writing. Huh? So when you check my page, a Facebook page, I was writing the growth diary, everything, like a script. I would script everything, type everything. Now they were very long paragraphs. So they are like episode 1, 2, and the people are like, this is too much.
This
you know,
is
this is
too
what people
much,
don't want to read.
yeah,
Why
people
can't
don't
you
want to
put it in video now? Like just talk everything out. At least a video to get people, at least they can hear today and tomorrow and finish up. I said, okay, that's a good idea. But otherwise, I know any great speaker is a great writer because it starts from there. You have no, I'm really so inspired. I don't know what to say next, but anyway, you talked about your manager, helping you with everything, that calls for, building a healthy relationship. So how can someone build a very healthy relationship? Or should I say, what's a relationship? Maybe I start with that.
Okay, so to begin with the definition of a relationship is a connection, an association, or a bond between two or more people. So this can take the form of a personal relationship, professional relationships, all those. So they are as a result of that connection, that bond, or that association that actually brings people together.
Yeah.
Yes, and then now coming to the question of how can people build a healthy relationship. So I'll start by defining what a healthy relationship is.
To stop you. What do you think we have more negative relationships right now than positive? Where are we getting it wrong?
So while we're getting it wrong, as in having a lot of negative, it's not that we actually have a lot of negative relationships or toxic relationships, as I would put it. We do actually have positive relationships, but of course there are certain tips that or certain factors that we overlook that makes something to be healthy, and because we overlook those factors, we end up having unhealthy relationships. Yes. So getting back to it now, giving my definition of what a healthy relationship is. So for me, a healthy relationship is that connection or that bond between two or more people that fosters trust, unity, and personal growth. So it's that relationship that will actually bring out the best in you, that relationship that will actually provide support for you, that relationship that will actually help you to persevere even when things are tough. You have somewhere to run to, you have somebody when you want to cry. We know there are certain times when we go through certain things that will actually is important, that will actually tell you to say it's important for you to cry in that situation. And then crying, just cry, just bow your head down and cry alone, but you have somebody to lean your shoulder, to give you their shoulder, and then you cry on. So for me, that's a definition of a healthy relationship, one that provides you with trust, one that provides you with respect, and then one that actually makes you to grow as a person and not belittles you. Yes. And then what makes a relationship to be healthy, the first thing actually that makes that relationship to be healthy is respect. So when we talk of respect, we talk of not disregarding each other's opinion, is while you do not belittle somebody. There are certain relationships that you are in a relationship with somebody, and then you hold this person to be dear to you, but the person actually doesn't respect you. The person who will tell you anything, anywhere, it doesn't matter with who, it doesn't matter with however, they will use words disregarding how you're going to feel. That's not actually what I call respect. So when a person respects you, even if you are wrong, that person will not shout at you. That person will look at the environment where you are for that particular time, and then they will choose wisely the words that they will tell you in order to correct you. I believe a person that loves you when you make a mistake will not actually leave you but correct you. That's how it works out. So that correction is also part of respect, because we get to understand to say we all make mistakes. Nobody is 100% super everything. So we get to make mistakes. So when a person makes a mistake, somebody corrects you in a better way, not why they even resort to physically abusing you. They resort to what? So a man that respects you will actually also just value you even when you're walking out in the roads. You know that there are actually ladies who get beaten road.
Yeah, very much.
And so people are watching a man that you actually just call your boyfriend, not even your husband, is physically abusing you, is insulting you, is emotionally abusing you. Such things are what we see. But for me, if a man respects me, regardless of what I have done, that man will not have the courage to insult me.
Yeah.
That man will not have the courage to physically abuse me on the road.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And then the next, the other factor is trust. So when we talk of trust, is that thing where somebody does not belittle you. Somebody, belittling is where somebody is always criticizing you. Somebody is always saying you can't do this. But if where there's trust, there's this healthy relationship, because you get to do things even when you're not sure of, at least when with that thought of, okay, there's this person who trusts me. It's more like somebody is telling you to say, I believe in you.
Yeah.
Even if the whole world doesn't believe in you, but hey, I'm here to believe in you. I trust you, And then with trust, it's that thing where there's no toxicity, because the relationships that does not have trust, hey, it's something somebody controls your every move.
Yeah.
Somebody controls your associates. Somebody controls the people that you are with, controls your movements. That's not how it's supposed to be. A person who trusts you will know to say, okay, my girl, my man has gone to this end, my relative, my what has gone there, and then they're able to trust you like that, because they believe you're able to do it on your own rather than them controlling you. So I've come at a certain age where I know back then, when you are in your early 13s, 14, 16, somewhere, it's that period where parents now get to be so protective over you. And then in that process of being protective, other parents get to be to more like forget that they actually love you, and then trust is no longer there. Where did you go? You just find yourself with this person. Who are you with? When's the such things. So I've been through that phase. I've experienced that phase before, and I've gotten to understand to say during this phase, parents can actually forget to say they actually trust you and everything. But while there's trust, it's something where it's now where I am to say I can move around, I can go home, because my mom understands the kind of work that I do. So I can tell her to say, Mom, I've got an event, I'm doing this, and that, and I'll be coming home maybe around 23. Mom will go and sleep and tell my sister, would just tell me to say, okay, when you get home, just call your sister, she'll open the door for you. That's the extent where I've got it. But if it was back then when I was in my 16s, would my mom actually do that? No.
But do you think it's because they don't trust you, or it's because they are loving you and they're trying to protect you from certain things?
No,
because they've gone before, they've seen it. They were 16 before.
Yeah, they were 16, but we get to understand people are different. And then I think the kind of way that I've grown up as a responsible person. I assumed responsibility at a tender age. You get right? So there always that misunderstanding. So I felt so untrusted. I felt like, what am I doing wrong? Am I unloved, or am I what? So I know how it feels when it feels like somebody doesn't trust you. I know. So whatever move that you get to make, you just feel like you are, how can I put it? You are in some kind of a bondage or something where you cannot do anything of your own. You cannot decide on your own until you get to ask this person. But while there's trust, you can do what, and then that person will just say, I believe in you. Go for this, go for that.
You talked of abuse, huh? You said maybe a situation where a man, a woman, they're on the road, the man will beat up a woman and people just watch. I think, not reading some from someone, I know a person, so this lady, because of how she's grown up, what she saw. So her growing up, the father was a very abusive man. He would always beat the mother, insult her, and that's the only life she's known. So, she was going out with my friend, and then she would always tell my friend, when are you going to beat me? When are you going to insult me? Like for her, that's how she know that that's true love. I don't know if you've heard that. For her, when she's like, when the man beat her, when the man insult her, to her, then that man loves her and is protecting her. But and you talked about that's agreement when we talk of health relationship. Is that a good is that health where okay, since you want to be beaten, let me beat her?
No. Look, I think how it is growing up when you are a young person, as young as you are, the mind is too young. Whatever that you are exposed to is actually what your brain gets to be fed with, and then that becomes more like a permanent thing to them. You get right? So because there are certain things that I've actually also gone through as a child that I can still remember today, because it's very difficult for a child to forget, because whatever that you expose to them at that particular time, because they're not able to pick out to say what is right or what is wrong, but because that was constantly done to her, she feels to say that was the right thing. So actually, for me, if you ask me what that person needs, is actually not more like counseling. You get it? So counseling, because she's in a different world where she feels to say the only way a man will show you that they love you is if they beat you. So she needs to be exposed to a different world where we say that's not actually a way of showing that somebody loves you. That's disrespect, and then that's a toxic relationship. So a relationship where somebody beats you, a relationship where somebody abuses you, that's not a healthy relationship. So she needs to be exposed to a different kind of relationship. And then now that's why we come in as friends, as close relatives, to show her that, to embrace her and to show her the right way of loving, and not that. So it's like you have to come against her beliefs of the right relationship. And if you can't manage as friends, you can't manage as family members, because I believe that can actually be a long-term thing that is in the brain, and can be difficult for you as just friends to make her forget about it, or to make her come out of it. And then it's a thing where you just involve counselors. Counselors will come in and then will counsel her, will help her, and then she'll be able to come out of that and understand to say, oh, actually there are two different kinds of relationships. So with her, maybe she probably knows that as the only type of relationship that is there, but we have different kinds of relationships.
We're talking of building or sustaining a health relationship, but I believe you can't sustain something which you have not built. There should always be a starting point. So how can someone build a health relationship or health relationships with people, family, and just friends, and like you said, professional life, business partners? How can you just build that relationship, which I'm sure a health relationship is where I benefit, you benefit, I share, you also share. So how can someone build such a relationship?
Okay, so this brings me back to the factors that I said. These are factors that will help you to foster a healthy relationship or build a healthy relationship. So you consider factors such as trust, respect, effective communication. So I talked of respect and I also talked of trust. So when we talk of effective communication, is where you are able to communicate effectively. You are able to, there are just people that are sarcastic. There are people that don't know how to talk. And then because of that, people do not want to associate with you. So it's about you setting boundaries of, how I can talk with you and how I talk with my other friends and how I talk with my manager and my parents, my family members should actually be different, because those are different relationships and at different levels. You get it? So you need to understand to say communication is very vital. Language is very vital in as much as you are communicating with different kinds of people. So you need to analyze that. So if you are that person who can't really adapt, who is not really flexible when it comes to communicating, then you're just saying, Nina Jaila, that's how I talk. Would you talk to a pastor in a sarcastic way? Would you talk maybe to your parents in a sarcastic way just because that's how you talk to your friends? No. So it's about communication. Learn how to talk to people. Because with language, I believe people to come close to you. How you talk, what you bring on the table is actually what will make people to come close to you. If I wasn't talking sensible things, if I wasn't, because again, it's not only about doing, also it's about what you bring, what you say on the table there, not just about doing. You get it? So people can love me because I do this and that, but how do I talk? How do I relate with people? So that is what we call effective communication, where you are able to analyze to say, which audience am I talking to? What language does this audience need? What kind of a friend am I talking to? In what situation are we in? What words am I supposed to say? So all those things will actually make you to build healthy relationships, because somebody will be able to come to you even when they are in that distressful situation. They'll come to you and they know to say, I'll find comfort in her words, I'll find comfort in his words. You get, right? So all those things will help you to build healthy relationships. And then also a place where there's no constant criticism. We know, yes, criticism is part of the process, part of the journey, but not criticism where somebody is always mocking you, somebody is always comparing you to your friend. Like, how do you feel when mom is always telling you should be more like your brother? Brother wako amashita so, brother wako amashita so na so na so. You know, all those things. It's like somebody is criticizing you, is mocking you. For me, if you want to criticize me negatively, criticize me with a solution. I'll give an example. Somebody is criticizing me about my show. They're saying, Temwani, I didn't like your guests for last time, this and that. Why? So you need to be able to tell me the reason why you didn't like my guests for last time, so that even next time I'll have the solution to say, okay, this person said they didn't like my guests because of this, this and that. Don't come and criticize me and say, so Chitabu, you're not doing what you're not good at this. Tell me how to go about it. And if you can't tell me how to go about it, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to respond in a sarcastic way about that. You get, right? So so it's where somebody has faith in you, where somebody trusts you, where somebody respects you, where somebody communicates with you in that just good way.
What can be your advice to maybe let's say a young lady there or a young man in a toxic relationship? Let's talk of a love relationship, and they're just trying to leave it, but they are scared. Let's say maybe you beat me, you do that. What's just you with people who are just toxic friendship? Your friendship where you're always losing, but you feel if I leave this, no one will accept me, no one will be friends with me. Such situations.
Okay, so if you are in a toxic relationship, especially if you are just dating, you're not even yet married, and then you are into that toxic relationship, hey, my only advice, I wouldn't even tell you to say persevere, that person is going to change, because I know for a fact that you've tried to make that person change. And if that person cannot change, that person is going to stress you, that person is going to depress you, and that person is going to make sure that you go insane. So the only solution that you have is to walk away. I always tell people, there's no two ways about it, that why should you allow a man to physically abuse you? Why should you allow a woman to insult you? Why should you allow a woman to disrespect you even in the presence of your friends, such that they should even laugh at you to say, why doesn't your woman respect you in that fact? So if that person cannot change, hey, you have to walk away. Walk away. There's no two ways about it. There's nothing that you cannot do. Pack your things and go. And if you don't have time to pack your things, hey, just leave them there and walk away, because there's always something better ahead of you. That's my only advice to people who are actually in toxic relationships. So just go. I've also been in a toxic relationship, so I know what I'm talking about. So a toxic relationship will actually squeeze you, will actually hit you against the wall, will actually make you feel small, will make you feel not worthy, will make you feel unvalued, will make you feel disrespected, will make you feel unimportant. So who wants to stay in a place where you are unimportant? And that's where stress comes in, and that's where depression comes in. You're too young to face depression. You're too young to die with stress. There's a lot of things. There's school stress, and then you need to add up the romantic stress. Hey, walk away. Just walk away. If I manage to walk away and I look like this, why can't you manage to walk away and look good? There's always something better ahead of you. So just go. That's my advice.
Walk away.
Just walk away.
That's the only solution.
Walk away. If you can't pack, go. Leave everything, because you will find even better than what you've left behind as you go on ahead.
And this is 2025. We are just starting the year. It's better you start it, with a peace of mind, so that you can focus on your dreams. Imagine you have so much to work on and you are always focused about, my partner. You can't even do a business, you can't interact with people to help you grow, because you know that someone will beat me or someone will ask me where I was. Just walk away. Just like my guest said, walk away.
Walk away.
If you can't walk away, you're scared something might happen, report them. There's the police, you'll be helped. But has been a very educative episode. I've learned so much. Like I said at the beginning, I am the voice, but she talks. I believe you've seen it for yourself. She's a great woman. I can't wait to host her again. And, I can't just wait to talk more and learn more of her works. And if you want to check what she does, you can follow her on Facebook. It's Temi Talks. And also on YouTube, you can check our YouTube channel.
That's Temwani Mweemba TV, and also I'm also on TikTok. That's Temi Talks, and as he said on Facebook, that's also Temi Talks. You can check out the works that I do. You can actually subscribe to my YouTube channel and get to watch some of the amazing episodes and the topics that I bring for you, because Temi Talks is a youth show that is actually trying to find issues that are affecting the youth and basically finding solutions to those issues. So if you want to find solutions to issues that are affecting you as a youth or as a person as a whole, please visit Temi Talks and you will get to learn more of that.
I am the voice, but she talks. I love you. Just love your vibes. I love your energy. It's been a great, interview. I've enjoyed having this conversation with you. Can't wait, to have you again.
I'm really humbled, and it will be an honor to be hosted
and I can't wait for that time to come when I read that book. I've not forgotten. This will stay forever to remind you to say,
you need to write.
You need to write.
I'll definitely write. I will.
It has been a great conversation, and we was talking about, just building or sustaining healthy relationship. But before I let you go, what are your last words to your viewers and the viewers out there?
Okay, so to everybody that actually follows Vagwada, right? Yes, to everybody that actually follows Vagwada, this is a great platform. It's very rare for young people to actually take up such platforms and use social media and the media itself to create positive impact. It's not easy, so I would encourage you to continue following his page, continue following his works, and if you feel like you can also do something because of what he has done, you get inspired, please get up and do something. That's the whole essence of bringing this to you. It's to actually tell you to say you can also do it. So he's just utilizing, as he said he didn't go to school for this. He's actually utilizing what God has given him. So you were also not born empty. There is something that you have in you that God has given you, and I urge that you get up today, especially that we are stepping into 2025. So step into 2025 with a different mindset to say, if Vagwada can do this even without going to school, just a pure passion, what more can you do as a person maybe who has even gone to school and you're just sitting on that degree, you're just sitting on that diploma? Get up and do something. 2025 is not a year for sitting down and just watching your friends. So I don't just want you to watch him. I want you to do something and get back to him and say, Vagwada, because of what you are doing, see what I'm doing also. This is my word.
Wow. I have been your host, Ivan Matos Vagwada. See you next time.
And this is the time where you do